Also, the likelihood of election tribunals and courts being inundated with cases arising out of the uncertainty. 4. The learned AAG points out that the Supreme Court Practice and Procedure Act 2013 requires that where constitutional interpretation is required, a bench of a minimum of 5 judges has to hear it. He further states that the interpretation of a federal law, the Constitution, and applicability of the decision of the Supreme Court is required, which will also impact elections to the provincial assemblies, and as such, requisite notices be issued. Therefore, notice under Order 27A of the Code of Civil Procedure 1908 be issued to the Attorney General for Pakistan and to all the Advocate Generals of the province. Notice be also issued to the Election Commission of Pakistan and public notice be published in a prominent English and Urdu newspaper having wide circulation, as the decision in these appeals may also affect those who are not parties hereto. 5. Concise statements attending to the said constitutional and legal questions without reference to facts and the particulars of individual cases may be filed. It is clarified that the pendency of these appeals and the questions raised herein shall not be used as a pretext to delay the forthcoming general elections scheduled to be held on 8 February 2024. These cases and any others involving the same question be fixed for a hearing in early January 2024 before a bench constituted by the committee under the Act.
Now please tell us, has Section 232 within bracket 2 of the Elections Act 2017 been challenged by anyone?
No, sir.
Is that correct?
It was challenged in the Lahore High Court. It was challenged in the Lahore High Court.
Where is the order?
I don't have the order, sir.
Let's go by orders. It was challenged, it was decided or not decided?
It was not decided, I think, sir. Because it was challenged. It's maybe
You challenge the act or somebody?
somebody, a lawyer from the Lahore Bar Council.
Who?
I exactly don't remember the name, but sir, it was challenged in the Lahore.
We can't go on a conjecture, we have to go on facts.
हमने सब challenges को इसलिए नहीं किया.
आप सिर्फ ये नहीं पूछ रहे हैं कि क्यों नहीं किया, हम सिर्फ ये पूछ रहे हैं किसी ने चैलेंज किया है तो बता दे. अच्छा चलें, एक बात तो ये हो गई. अच्छा, दूसरी बात, अब ये एडवोकेट जनरल्स ऑफ द प्रोविंसेस, do they support the attorney general or they have different contention?
Sir, function we support the attorney general. And from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, I also support the contentions of attorney general, please.
Who does not should just say so? Anybody? आप बलुस्तान और आप किधर से? You support the attorney general's contention or not? Huh? Achha, okay. Now, can we just the judgment is dated when of the Supreme Court? Year the 2018 Supreme Court, and so it is before this law was enacted.
31st January 2018.
13th April 2018.
Now let's start with the constitutional provision. Attorney General, if you can come back.
My lord, can I make a very small point?
Let's read the constitutional provisions, then we'll come to you.
Because, my lord, in my appeals, there is another issue also, another question of law which needs my lord's
We will come to
decision.
it. Let's just see what the provision was.
Sure.
And we will, don't worry, we will give you an opportunity. Now, can we read the relevant provisions?
My lord.
Article 62.
My lord, Article 62, Clause 1 and Subclause F. I'll begin by reading Clause 1.
The whole article.
G. A person shall not be qualified to be elected or chosen as a member of Majlis-e-Shura Parliament unless A. He is a citizen of Pakistan, B. He is, in the case of the National Assembly, not less than 25 years of age and is enrolled as a voter in any electoral roll in 1. Any part of Pakistan for election to a general seat or a seat reserved for non-Muslims, and 2. Any area in a province from which he seeks membership for election to a seat reserved for women. C. He is, in the case of the Senate, not less than 30 years of age and is enrolled as a voter in any area in a province or, as the case may be, the federal capital from where he seeks membership. D. He is of good character and is not commonly known as one who violates Islamic injunctions. E. He has adequate knowledge of Islamic teachings and practices obligatory duties prescribed by Islam as well as abstains from major sins. F. He is sagacious, righteous, non-profligate, honest, and ameen, there being no declaration to the contrary by a court of law. And G. He has not, after the establishment of Pakistan, worked against the integrity of the country or opposed the ideology of Pakistan. Clause 2. The disqualifications specified in paragraphs D and E shall not apply to a person who is a non-Muslim, but such a person shall have good moral reputation. This is Article 62.
63 pari.
G. Clause 1. A person shall be disqualified from being elected or chosen as and from being a member of the Majlis-e-Shura Parliament if A. He is of unsound mind and has been so declared by a competent court, or B. He is an undischarged insolvent, or C. He ceases to be a citizen of Pakistan or acquires the citizenship of a foreign state, or he holds an office of profit in the service of Pakistan other than an office declared by law not to disqualify its holder, or he is in the service of any statutory body or any body which is owned or controlled by the government or in which the government has a controlling share or interest, or being a citizen of Pakistan by virtue of Section 14B of the Pakistan Citizenship Act 1951, he is for the time being disqualified under any law in force in Azad Jammu and Kashmir from being elected as a member in Azad Jammu and Kashmir, from being elected as a member of the Legislative Assembly of Azad Jammu and Kashmir, or he has been convicted by a court of competent jurisdiction for propagating any opinion or acting in any manner prejudicial to the ideology of Pakistan or the sovereignty, integrity or security of Pakistan or the integrity or independence of the judiciary of Pakistan, or which defames or brings into ridicule the judiciary or the armed forces of Pakistan, unless a period of 5 years has elapsed since his release, or he has been, on conviction for any offence involving moral turpitude, sentenced to imprisonment for a term of not less than 2 years, unless a period of 5 years has elapsed since his release, or I. He has been dismissed from the service of Pakistan or service of a corporation or office set up or controlled by the federal government, provincial government or a local government on the grounds of misconduct, unless a period of 5 years has elapsed since his dismissal, or he has been removed or compulsorily retired from the service of Pakistan or service of a corporation or office set up or controlled by the federal government, provincial government or a local government on the grounds of misconduct, unless a period of 3 years has elapsed since his removal or compulsory retirement, or he has been in the service of Pakistan or of any statutory body or any body which is owned or controlled by the government or in which the government has a controlling share or interest, unless a period of 2 years has elapsed since he ceased to be in such service, or he, whether by himself or by any person or body of persons in trust for him or for his benefit or on his account or as a member of a Hindu undivided family, has any share or interest in a contract, not being a contract between a cooperative society and government, for the supply of goods to or for the execution of any contract or for the performance of any service undertaken by government. Provided that the disqualification under this paragraph shall not apply to a person, 1. Where the share or interest in the contract devolves on him by inheritance.
जरा बात ना करें माइक के सामने लाहौर से, आपकी आवाज यहाँ आ रही है, शुक्रिया जी।
Provided that the disqualification under this paragraph shall not apply to a person, 1. Where the share or interest in the contract devolves on him by inheritance or succession or as a legatee, executor or administrator until the expiration of 6 months after it has so devolved on him. 2. Where the contract has been entered into by or on behalf of a public company as defined in the Companies Ordinance 1984, of which he is a shareholder but is not a director holding an office of profit under the company. Or 3, where he is a member of a Hindu undivided family and the contract has been entered into by any other member of that family in the course of carrying on a separate business in which he has no share or interest. Or explanation. In this article, goods isko skip karke
not disqualification.
G.
So we can come to
M. G. He holds any office of profit in the service of Pakistan other than the following offices, namely, again, an office which is not whole-time office remunerated either by salary or by fee. 2, the office of Lambardar, whether called by this or any other title. 3, the Qawmi Razakars. 4, any office the holder whereof by virtue of such office is liable to be called up for military training or military service under any law providing for the constitution or raising of a force. Or N, he has obtained a loan for an amount of 2 million rupees or more from any bank, financial institution, cooperative society or cooperative body in his own name or in the name of his spouse or any of his dependents, which remains unpaid for more than 1 year from the due date or has got such loan written off. Or O, he or his spouse or any of his dependents has defaulted in payment of government dues and utility expenses, including telephone, electricity, gas and water charges in excess of 10,000 rupees for over 6 months at the time of filing his nomination papers. Or P, he is for the time being disqualified from being elected or chosen as a member of the Majlis-e-Shura, Parliament or of a provincial assembly under any law for the time being in force. Explanation. For the purposes of this paragraph, law shall not include an ordinance promulgated under Article 89 or Article 128. 2. Then if any question arises whether a member of Majlis-e-Shura Parliament has become disqualified from being a member, the Speaker or as the case may be, the Chairman shall, unless he decides that no such question has arisen, refer the question to the Election Commission within 30 days. And if he fails to do so within the aforesaid period, it shall be deemed to have been referred to the Election Commission. 3. The Election Commission shall decide the question within 90 days from its receipt or deemed to have been received, and if it is of the opinion that the member has become disqualified, he shall cease to be a member and his seat shall become vacant. And then 63 is disqualification on grounds
How
of
would you
defection.
distinguish between 62 and 63?
My Lord, now, of course, 62 is qualification and 63 is disqualification, but both these conditions are applicable at the time of entry, at the entry point, which is to say that when a candidate files his nomination papers for Parliament or Provincial Assembly, must be eligible under both 62 and not ineligible under 63. And subsequently, if once a member gets elected, then again, he must...
No, it doesn't say elected. It says a person shall be disqualified from being elected.
From being elected.
So
yes,
it's
sir.
pre-election.
G 62, so as I said,
63.
G63 also, it says from being elected, but
Some Article 3 says if he is a member.
if he is a member, then and if there is anything, for example, now there could be few instances.
If you just, let's go to 62. Certain things are factual.
That's right, sir.
He is a citizen of Pakistan. Either he is or he is not.
And the
2
age,
is age of 25 years. I mean, that's also fact. Either
Right.
you are or you're not. There's no debate here.
and then being on the electoral rolls of a province, that is also
Factual.
Factual.
Now we go to C.
That's again with relation
Factual.
to sector.
Now comes the more difficult ones,
D to G.
which are, I imagine, not easy to ascertain. He's of good character.
And which
Are you of good character, Attorney General? Don't answer that.
no, depends how you see me.
know.
That's what I had to say. that-
Please don't answer that. Okay. Not suggesting anything.
No, but
I'm just saying.
this actually says it
I'm
all.
just saying your supporters may say excellent character, and your detractors may say
It is
horrible
very
character.
subjective how you see, how you perceive what is a good character. What is good character? So it is.
And
Who will determine it? Who will determine it?
Yes. So that these are also all open-ended.
you know, if you see D, and it goes on to say who not commonly known as one who violates Islamic injunctions. So here it is, you may be in absolute violation of Islamic injunctions, but if it is not known, so okay, so it's very strange sort of wording. When we go to E, he has adequate knowledge of Islamic teachings. I don't know how many will pass muster in this courtroom, what level of Islamic teachings we are talking about, and practices obligatory duties prescribed by Islam, as well as abstains from major sins. Okay, now we all pray for forgiveness of our sins, so we are all sinners in that way. He is sagacious, righteous, non-profligate, honest, and ameen, there being no declaration to the contrary by a court of law. Now this is tied up with the court of law clause. The court of law, for instance, the cases before us were people not possessing a degree or producing a fake degree or not a recognized degree. So there is some sort of declaration that this was a stipulation. Now there is another thing inbuilt with that. The Constitution never provided for a degree.